Welcome back to the second part of my testimony series. I know I haven't posted, and I said I was going to post weekly, but I was struggling personally, spiritually the past couple of weeks, and I thought that meant I wasn't good enough to show this part of my testimony. And this isn't part of the testimony that I was struggling with. I was just struggling spiritually, which happens when you give your life to God. It was never said that it was going to be easy. And we're all going to struggle. But then I thought about it, even though I'm struggling, this is a peak time where I could show my testimony, because it shows what God got me through, to remind not only myself, but you guys as well, that no matter what you're going through, God can pull you through it. Today we're talking about anxiety, and I say depression/sadness because I was never diagnosed with anxiety or depression, but I definitely did feel anxious feelings, and I did feel constant waves of sadness a lot. So I just want to preface that I was never diagnosed, and I'm not self-diagnosing, but this can be put under the label of anxiety and depression because that is something common that a lot of teenagers in this generation, or any generation, goes through. I just want to start with saying, ever since I was a kid, I always had weird, off-putting feelings that I couldn't understand. We didn't talk about feelings a lot when I was younger, so I would just feel things and I didn't know what they meant. I later found out this feeling was the feeling of being anxious, or as you would call anxiety. And ever since I was a kid, I kind of had to cope with the feeling of being underwater. That's kind of what I felt like sometimes with feeling these anxious feelings. It felt like I was underwater and I couldn't get out of it. And for those of you who know me, I had a crazy little hairstyle back when I was younger, and I never really told anybody this because some people would think that I was crazy for saying this. But one of the things that I did, besides picking at my nails and stuff, that would help me cope and feel better, was twisting my hair. I did it a lot when I read because reading also soothed me. And I would twist my hair like this and pull it out, and I ended up getting bald spots, and then my hair grew back and it was crazy curly, but it's all better now. You see, I did comb my bangs, and I don't know how I feel about them. They're better when they're dry, but that's not the point of this. Some of the weird things that I would do at school to show you things that would just crazily go through my mind. I'd go hours without drinking at school because I was anxious at what other people would think if I was at my desk with my water bottle like this, would pick it up and drink some. I really thought I was going to get judged on how I picked it up, how I looked drinking it, how my mouth would look drinking it, how I would look drinking it. Newsflash, no one cares. No one did care, and no one will care. And 2 inches is what I moved, and nobody cares. The feeling of anxiety took over my life in ways that I didn't even realize until I was 16. There's no way for me to describe to you how it felt, other than the fact, living, breathing, walking, and it was all like I was on manual drive, where I have to really concentrate on how to work, and one wrong move, you're stalled out. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a manual car, I was driving it, and one wrong gear shift move, and I was stalled. That's what it felt. When I got saved in 2024, I was at my lowest point of anxiety that filled my body. I was chilling. I was living life. I was so grateful because God had delivered me from something that had such a hand on my life. Here's my life walking, and this is how anxiety felt on it, literally my whole life. I was quickly proven wrong after I graduated and was on the journey to be an adult. A few months after I was saved, I was actually at the peak time for anxiety and how that felt for me. I now know that was definitely, the enemy taking one of the lowest points of me and trying to attack me in that way of filling me with anxiety of things. What I had to learn that I had to do was to not dwell on those feelings of anxiety, because while it is okay to be sad and it is okay to be anxious, but it's not okay to dwell on those, especially as a child of God. We are meant to, lean on God for for understanding and wisdom to get out of things like that. And it took me a long time to realize that. So in the beginning, I was freshly saved. I had nobody to help guide me. I was at the lowest point. Well, highest peak time for anxiety, but lowest point in my strongness of faith. And I know that that's not going to be the last time, but now I know a different way to go about it. And one of the things I did after I got saved, which happened recently after I met my boyfriend and he helped get me out of my shell a lot, is asking God for uncomfortable situations. You ask God for an uncomfortable situation, He's going to give you an uncomfortable situation. He will give you many uncomfortable situations, and when I tell you, He did. But it's just a matter of knowing that the situation He's going to give you is going to be to glorify Him. And the way that I think about it was, you're not going to die. Well, depending on what He called you to do, you could have the possibility of that. But I'm saying, something simple as, I hate singing in front of people. But I was in an uncomfortable situation of joining and being a part of teen choir at church, and I did that. I know I'm not gonna die. I'm just up there singing, and you just can't let your things that will glorify God be affected by what you think other people are gonna think of it, because guess what? They're not the ones who saved you. And they're not the ones who created you, and they're not the ones that's going to meet you up in heaven and be like, you staying or you leaving? It will hit you. And I promise you, it will hit hard. But you just have to remember to rely on God in the sense of that fact that He's got you through it and that He will be the one to get you out of there. Well, now that we've talked about anxiety, what is one thing that always follows anxiety? That would be depression. And this is short and simple because there's never really nothing traumatic in my life that happened to make me depressed. But for a long time, I always had this weird feeling of sadness. Nothing ever got rid of it. I was only happy in short moments, but the minute I was alone, I felt like I was in a pit that I couldn't get out of. And it really sucks because I couldn't pinpoint the fact of why I was sad, and I had no joy in my heart. But literally a song that you guys could listen to, it's called The Joy of the Lord. Joy of the Lord is my strength. That's literally one of the lyrics. That's what being saved did for me. Because even after, when there was times in my life where I was sad over anything, I was still joyful. I was joyful for the fact of the things that God had done for me, and I was still joyful in the fact of the things that I know God will do for me. And that's just what having the joy of the Lord is, it really gets rid of your depression. I'm not saying you still can't be depressed at times, but finding joy in the Lord will help you get out of those stages better. Like I said, you can still have anxiety and you can still have depression. But as a saved person, you now have somebody that you can go lean on. If I'm sad, hey God, I'm feeling sad today. I don't know what to do. Help me. He will bring you people. He will bring you, you already have the scripture, but He will bring you people. He will bring you wisdom. He will give you parts of the Bible that you need to read that will help calm you. He's there for you to talk to Him and pray to Him. After I got saved, I still have these fears, I still have these anxieties, I still get sad sometimes, but it's different now. Before, it felt like I was here and I was never going to get out. Now, it feels like I'm here, but I know there's always going to be an up here. Because God's not going to let you, and God will leave the 99 for you. If you are running after Him, even in the times where you feel like you have no strength to run, He will catch you. because guess what? He is always reaching out for you. This is one of my favorite parts of my testimony, because this is something that I've struggled with for so long, and there were so many parts of my testimony that I knew I could get out of, and this is just one part of it that I never thought that I'd be able to get out of. I never thought there'd be a time in my life where I feel happy even when I'm not with people, or even when I'm not with somebody special to me, or even when I'm alone in my thoughts. Like, God delivered me from that, and I just want you to remember, if you are not saved right now, God has great things for you. He has great things for you. I'm going to put my Instagram in my bio. If any of you have any questions, or if you need prayer, or if you want to be saved and you don't understand it, please reach out to me. I would love to speak to you. I would love nothing more to be able to help people who need help. Because I know that in the beginning of my walk, I didn't have people. And so it was kind of just a me thing. That's all for this week. I will see you guys next week, where we're going to be talking about self-worth and insecurities. That is also another big one for me. And I really hope that you guys will stay along and watch. And if not, I'm still going to be praying for everybody out there. Can't pray for all of you. Don't know all your names and don't have time for all the people in the world. But I do have time to at least pray for the whole world. So, I love you guys, and I hope that the week treats you well.